Hatshepsut was born into a royal family in ancient Egypt. Her father was Thutmose I, a powerful pharaoh. He had won many battles and expanded Egypt's borders. Hatshepsut's mother was Queen Ahmose. She was the great royal wife of Thutmose I, which meant she was the most important wife of the pharaoh. Egyptians believed pharaohs were descended from the gods. Hatshepsut's royal birth gave her a claim to the throne. She was seen as a divine child, chosen by the gods to rule. Her father likely involved her in the affairs of state. She would have learned about Egyptian government and religion. Hatshepsut grew up in the royal palace, a place of luxury and learning. She received the finest education available. She studied writing, mathematics, and astronomy, skills needed to rule Egypt. She was a very intelligent and capable young woman. Hatshepsut's father, Thutmose I, had another son by a lesser wife. This son was called Thutmose II. When Thutmose I died, Thutmose II became pharaoh. However, he was very young. Hatshepsut, as the daughter of the great royal wife, was made his regent. This meant she would rule in his place until he came of age. Hatshepsut took her role as regent seriously. She learned the ways of power and proved herself a capable leader. She oversaw building projects and religious ceremonies, and she also dealt with foreign dignitaries. As regent, Hatshepsut wielded considerable influence. She was responsible for the day-to-day running of Egypt. She became familiar with the workings of the government and gained the respect of the officials and priests. To further secure her position, Hatshepsut married her half-brother, Thutmose II. This was common practice in ancient Egypt to maintain the purity of the royal bloodline. As the great royal wife, Hatshepsut's status was elevated. She had significant power and influence, and she used her position to further her own ambitions. Thutmose II's reign was relatively short. He was not a strong ruler like his father. Hatshepsut continued to hold much of the power. She was involved in all aspects of government. She even had herself depicted in statues and reliefs alongside her husband. Hatshepsut gave birth to a daughter, Neferure. Thutmose II had a son, Thutmose III, with a lesser wife. When Thutmose II died, his young son was named heir. Hatshepsut was once again in a powerful position as regent for the young king. Section 4, the king's regent. Hatshepsut initially acted as regent for Thutmose III. He was just a young boy when he became pharaoh. Hatshepsut took control of the government. She was determined to rule Egypt. She believed she was the rightful heir to the throne. For the first few years of Thutmose III's reign, Hatshepsut ruled in his name. She continued to wear the traditional clothing and regalia of a queen. However, as time went on, she began to take on more and more masculine attire. Hatshepsut's adoption of male attire was a strategic move. It was a way for her to assert her authority in a society dominated by men. By presenting herself as a male king, she could command the respect of the court and the people. Section 5. Becoming king. Around 7 years into Thutmose III's reign, Hatshepsut took the unprecedented step of declaring herself pharaoh. She adopted the full titles and regalia of a male king. She even had herself depicted with a false beard in statues and reliefs. Hatshepsut's decision to become pharaoh was a bold one. There was no precedent for a woman ruling Egypt in her own right. However, she was a shrewd politician and a skilled ruler. She was able to secure the support of the elite and legitimize her rule. It is important to note that Hatshepsut did not try to hide her gender. She still used feminine pronouns in inscriptions. She presented herself as a female king, a unique and powerful ruler. She believed she had the divine right to rule regardless of gender.